Okay, Ankara. You know, when you think Turkey, maybe Istanbul jumps out first.
Right, it often does.
But Ankara, it's actually the capital. And it's huge. Over 5.7 million people. It's this really interesting mix. You feel the ancient history, but also this, like, modern buzz.
Absolutely, a real blend.
So for this deep dive, we're zeroing in on Ankara.
Yeah.
Using this list, we found 12 best things to do. Think of it as, well, a cheat sheet to get the highlights.
And what's interesting about this particular list, the source material, is how it tries to balance things. It's not just the big historical sites. It mixes in local experiences too, things picked for, cultural significance, but also visitor reviews. That's key. So it should give us a more rounded picture, hopefully.
Exactly. So our mission basically is to pull out the best bits from these recommendations, give you a really clear, engaging idea of what experiencing Ankara is like.
Sounds good.
Now, before we jump into the actual things to do, maybe just a quick practical note. The source mentioned a few hotels, just for context.
Ah, right. Useful if you're, actually thinking of going.
Yeah. So for luxury, there was the New Park Hotel, mid-range, the Boreas Hotel, that's a trademark collection by Wyndham One.
Okay.
And for budget travelers, the Sky Hill Hotel. Just, putting that out.
Got a little bit of practical info is helpful, yeah. It kind of grounds the discussion about the activities, makes it feel more real for you listening.
Okay, let's get into it. Starting with, well, you kind of have to start here. Anıtkabir.
Yeah, definitely Ankara's most visited spot, and it's just incredibly significant. It's the mausoleum for Mustafa Kemal Atatürk.
The first president, founder of modern Turkey.
Exactly. The sheer number of people who visit, millions every year, tells you how important it is to the national identity.
Totally. And the scale.
Wow.
Took them nearly a decade to build, right? Like 1944 to 53.
Yeah, quite the undertaking. It's in the Chankaya district. But the architecture itself is fascinating.
It is, isn't it? It's this mix. Neoclassical, some Art Deco, but also Ottoman and Seljuk influences.
That blend is very deliberate, reflecting Ataturk's vision, honoring the past but looking forward.
And it all leads to this powerful, kind of cube-shaped main structure with these huge stone columns. Very imposing.
It really is a statement.
Yeah.
And the source notes entry is free, which is great for accessibility.
Oh, good point. And you can't forget the approach. The Road of the Lions?
Ah, yes, that walkway.
Almost 900 feet long, lined with 24 lion statues. It sets a very solemn tone as you walk towards the mausoleum.
It really does. The lions symbolizing strength.
Yeah.
It prepares you for the significance of the site.
Okay, so from that relatively modern monument, let's jump way back in time.
Right, to Ankara Castle. We're talking 8th century BC here.
Yeah, ancient.
Yeah.
And you can see why they built it there, perched on this hill, overlooking everything. Strategic.
Totally. The source makes it sound really atmospheric to explore, walking through old archways, up these worn stone steps.
Imagining who else walked those same steps over the centuries. They even mention an old dungeon tower.
Ooh, intriguing. But besides the history fix, the big draw seems to be the views. Oh, absolutely. Panoramic city views. The advice was definitely bring a camera. Sounds like the spot for that.
Good tip.
Yeah.
And opening hours. Let's see. Weekdays, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Weekends, they open earlier, 8 a.m. and close later, 10 p.m.
Useful info. Well, okay, third essential stop, indoors this time. The Museum of Anatolian Civilizations.
This sounds incredible. Founded way back in 1912.
And dedicated purely to Anatolian heritage. Plus, it's housed in these two amazing old Ottoman buildings.
Right. Mahmud Pasha Bedestan that was like a covered market.
Yeah, and the Krishnlu Han, which was a caravanserai, like an old inn for traders. So the buildings themselves are historic.
Adds to the whole experience, doesn't it? But what's inside? They say it's mind-blowing.
Well, look at the timeline it covers. From the Paleolithic era, we're talking over 11,000 years ago.
Wow.
Right through the Neolithic, Bronze Age, Hittite, Roman, Byzantine, Ottoman periods. Just immense.
So much history packed in one place. What kind of artifact?
All sorts. Ancient statues, really intricate jewelry, gold and silver coins, even Paleolithic tools like axes and scrapers used thousands of years ago. It really drives home how long people have lived in this region.
Incredible. Okay, so those are kind of the top three, the absolute must-dos, but obviously there's more to Ankara.
Right. The list moves into more, let's say, immersive experiences next, starting with a bizarre Siluhan Karsisi.
Ah, yes. Gotta love a bustling market. It sounds like a real local favorite.
Definitely gives that vibe. Lots of small shops selling everything from decorative flowers and antiques
to household goods, souvenirs, handmade jewelry, and food, of course. local food.
Exactly. The advice is basically just dive in, wander around, get a little lost. That's how you find the cool stuff.
Or just grab a coffee somewhere and people watch, right? Soak up the atmosphere.
That's often the best part. Just be aware it closes kind of early, 4 p.m. daily.
Good to know. Plan for a daytime visit then. Okay. Complete change of pace now. An aquarium. Aqua Vega Aquarium.
Yeah, this one sounds like a big hit, especially if you have kids with you. It's in the Nada Vega Outlet Mall.
And they have a lot of fish. 12,000 species, apparently.
Okay.
Including sand tiger sharks.
Koi fish, clownfish, stingrays. The popular ones.
But the main feature seems to be this huge tunnel.
Right. Over 320 feet long. You walk through it. Fish swimming all around you. Pretty immersive.
Cool. And it's not just fish.
No, they also have a wildlife section. Marmosets, dart frogs, even Nile crocodiles and venomous lizards. So a bit more diverse than you might expect.
Huh. Interesting mix. Okay. Need a break from all that excitement. Next up is the Botanical Park.
Yes, the classic city escape. Sounds like a lovely green space, tree-lined paths, a pond, playgrounds.
Places to just sit and relax. They suggest having a picnic, which sounds nice.
A good way to just slow down. And there's apparently a quirky coffee shop / garden center inside the park, too.
Yeah. The Turkey Biyalaglar Derneği Botanik Sera. Sounds unique. Oh, and sculptures. Don't forget the sculptures.
Right, including a huge teddy bear sculpture.
Huh? Yes. Adds a bit of fun, doesn't it?
Definitely memorable. Okay, from parks to piety. Kuktepe Mosque.
This is clearly a major landmark. You probably see it from all over the city. It's Ankara's largest mosque.
And relatively modern, construction finished in '87 after about 20 years. The scale is immense.
Yeah, the numbers are pretty staggering. 220 feet long, 210 wide, nearly 290 feet high. And it can hold 24,000 people.
Wow. Visually, you've got the 4 big minarets and that massive central blue dome, almost 160 feet high, plus smaller domes around it.
It sounds stunning. The tip is to photograph it from the main square out front to really capture the scale.
Good advice. But they also say definitely go inside.
Oh, yeah. What's it like?
Apparently beautiful. Stained glass, marble, gold leaf details, big chandeliers, intricate tile work. Sounds like a feast for the eyes.
Nice. Okay, next, let's head to where the modern city buzzes. Kızılay Square.
Right, this sounds like the central meeting point, the heart of contemporary Ankara. Very vibrant, lots of energy.
Constant buzz, cafes, restaurants everywhere, modern buildings.
Yeah.
You get the picture.
It's that kind of place where you just hang out and feel the city's pulse. It has its own landmarks, too, like water features, a central statue.
And it's not just the square itself, right? There are other things nearby.
Yeah, like Oven Park for maybe a quieter moment, and something called Kızılay Metro Çarşısı, maybe shops underground. And they mention a specific restaurant, FLZ Cafe, for Turkish food and live music.
So options around the main square, too? Good. Next, something very traditional, a Turkish hammam.
Ah, the Turkish bath experience. It's described as deeply rooted in tradition for cleansing, but also relaxation.
A physical and mental reset, kind of.
Exactly. There are many hammams, but the source highlights one called Duşkapı Meydan Hamamı as being highly rated.
What's the experience like? Steam rooms?
Yep, steam rooms, the bath itself, you get your own changing room, and you can usually get professional massages too. The goal is to leave feeling totally refreshed.
Sounds blissful, actually. Okay, now for something quite different and pretty unique, I think. The Ulucanlar Prison Museum.
This one really stands out, doesn't it? A former state prison, only opened as a museum in 2010.
Gives you insight into Turkey's penal history. And it held political prisoners, which adds another layer.
It sounds like a powerful experience. You can walk through the actual cells, common areas, even where executions took place.
Wow. Heavy stuff. How do they tell the stories?
Through wax sculptures of inmates, reading their biographies, seeing personal items they left behind, it aims to make the history very real, very human.
It sounds intense, but important. It's open Tuesday to Sunday, closes at 4:30 p.m.
A sobering but potentially very meaningful visit. Okay, switching gears again, dramatically, to dinosaurs.
Yes. The Şehit Kuma das Tabiat Tarihi Müzesi, a natural history museum.
This sounds perfect if you're into the prehistoric world, or again, if you have kids. A whole floor on paleontology.
With model dinosaurs, real fossils, skeletons of whales, elephants. Cool stuff.
And it's not just dinos. They have animal dioramas, interactive exhibits, a planetarium, even a geography section. Sounds pretty comprehensive.
Definitely covers a lot. Open Tuesday to Sunday until 4 p.m. Right, one last stop on our list.
And it's all about the views again. The Atakula observation deck.
This is supposed to offer the best city views, apparently. It's a 410-foot tower, used to be for communications, right next to the botanical park we mentioned earlier.
Perfect location and 360-degree views. That's what you want from an observation deck.
Exactly. There is an entry fee, 600 Turkish lira for adults, 300 for kids currently.
Okay.
But it seems like there's more up there than just the view deck.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
A restaurant, a shopping center. Get this, 2 virtual reality centers and a cinema.
Wow, so it's like a whole entertainment complex up there.
Pretty much. You could easily spend a while. And it's open late, 10 p.m. daily.
Good option for evening views, too, then.
Definitely. So wrapping it all up,
Yeah.
this deep dive really shows Ankara is, well, packed with variety.
Absolutely. You've got the immense history at places like Anıtkabir and the castle.
The incredible depth of the Museum of Anatolian Civilizations.
And then the buzz of the markets, the calm of the parks, the beauty of the Kocatepe Mosque.
And even these really unique, powerful experiences like the prison museum.
It's that range that's so striking, isn't it? From things thousands of years old to very recent, quite poignant history, it paints a really complex picture of the city.
For sure. So whether you're actually planning a trip or just curious about Turkey's capital, hopefully this gives you a really good feel for what Ankara is all about.
It really makes you think, though, with all these layers we've touched on, from ancient artifacts to the prison walls, what other stories does Ankara hold? What else is waiting to be discovered there?
That's a great question. And you wonder, with this blend of ancient and modern, how does its identity keep changing, keep evolving as the capital? Definitely food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.